Good morning, class. Today we are going to learn about the history of William Shakespeare as an introduction to the play we are going to start reading titled Macbeth. Some key terms we may want to know before we get started reading. The Globe Theatre. This is the theater where all Shakespeare's plays were performed. Many do not know that Shakespeare even owned part of the Globe Theatre, which made him a very rich man. They called the theater the Elizabethan Theater because Queen Elizabeth needed to approve all plays. Luckily, she favored Shakespeare and approved all of his plays that were set before her. The Lord Chamberlain's Men, or the King's Men, was the theater company that Shakespeare was a part of. He acted with this group of men. The Puritans believed that all playhouses were evil, and unfortunately, they closed down all theaters in 1642. There are no records of Shakespeare's actual birth date. However, many believed that he was born on April 23rd, based on the date of his baptism, which was on the 26th. He went to a local school in Stratford, where he would have studied Latin and read works of ancient Roman writers, which would have prepared him with all of his writing knowledge for writing poetry and his plays. There is also no record of Shakespeare's death. Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway in 1582. In 1583, they had their first daughter, and then in 1585, his wife, Anne, gave birth to twins. As I already mentioned before, the Globe Theatre was where all of Shakespeare's plays were performed. Shakespeare was part owner of the Globe Theatre. Unfortunately, it burned down in 1613, but it was rebuilt quickly after in 1614. The theater was open air, and actors must tell us what time of day it was because all plays were performed during the day. Therefore, if it was at night, they needed to let us know. Many may not realize that Shakespeare was both an actor and a playwright. As I already mentioned, all of his plays needed to be approved by Queen Elizabeth. He wrote a total of 37 plays, one of which is Macbeth, which we are going to read. He also published several books of poetry, which many people, again, do not know about Shakespeare. Macbeth is going to be the one play of Shakespeare's that we are going to read in class. Some major themes that we are going to cover as we read Macbeth are the theme of sleeplessness, supernatural elements, weather, animals, gender, and fate. We will explore these themes more as we read, but it's good to have a basic understanding of the themes we are going to read about so you can look for them as we are reading. You will encounter the main characters as we read. First, you will encounter King Duncan. King Duncan has two sons, Malcolm and Donalbain. You will also meet the noblemen of Scotland, Macbeth, Banquo, Macduff, and Lennox and Ross. In addition, you will meet the three witches, Hecate, who is the head witch, Lady Macbeth, who is Macbeth's wife, Lady Macduff, who is Macduff's wife, and Flans, who is Banquo's son. We will encounter a few other characters, but these are the main characters in which you will want to know before we start reading. The setting takes place in Scotland. At the beginning of the play, we are fighting a war. Later on in the play, we will visit England and Ireland. Setting is always helpful to know so that you can place where the characters are in the story. Another important part of reading Shakespeare is that his language is a little different. This may get confusing, but do not worry, I will help you through it. There are a few language omissions to look for. For example, tis is it is, and ope is open, or is over, give is give, ne'er means never, I is in, and e'er is ever, oft is often, and is he, and e'en is even. I realize that these can be troublesome at first, but you will get used to them. I hope you are ready to dive in and read Macbeth with me. Again, it may be challenging along the way, but I know together we can accomplish it and that you will really truly enjoy the story of Macbeth.